Part 2 with host, performer, actress Julia Morris.
With respect to Celebrity Apprentice, does that give you a different lens when you're looking at the contestants on Celeb?
Yes, sir. And so was being a working comic up to I'm a Celebrity.
Yep.
Because even when I was hosting Australia's Got Talent or some of those shows along the way, that time period's over because that's, again, 6 weeks of work. So then you're like, well, what are we going to do? You know, you don't work, you don't eat. The life of a working comic is that. So, you know, we rented, we did all of those things. So it's interesting over the last couple of years I've been on shows where there's much younger comics and emerging comics coming through. And
such as Taskmaster or...
Yeah, and I noticed like some of the old jokes about, you know, Hughes is rich, Hughes is rich, all those ones, right? I love Hughes so much. But I got a couple of you're rich. And I was like, I mean, I've got a lovely house, but it wasn't. And so...
You just spoke about your struggles.
Yeah, well, also then I'm like, mate, like I'm only in this light for maybe the last 4 years. Like you only work your way into a better position. And even then you have to hold steady. You can't keep asking for money in television or you're gone. You got to kind of work what am I willing to do for the, like, you know, what am I willing to earn? How low can I go? I certainly had filled in every living gap. So when comics make jokes now where they're just like, you're on easy street because you're on the television, and I am definitely now one of the Carl Stefanovics.
Yep.
So I wasn't a minute ago, so that's confusing because I still see myself as an emerging comic, not as someone with lengthy success. Visually, I've had lengthy success. Financially, for comics. So if you're lucky to be on a show like the last 10 years, amazing. But that 10 years will have been making up financially for the other. Like I think when I started in the jungle, I had something like $7,000 in super.
Wow.
Because I've been in different countries.
Yep.
I'd worked as a receptionist for a real estate agency when I first came out of school. Oh, it's all happening here.
And just broken something.
Busy drag queen. No, he's furious. I know he's done. He's stormed off. No more food. Yeah, so it's hard not to then react to those sort of jokes and be like, no, I'm not. I am not. I did it. Yeah.
So when you're doing I'm a Celeb and the contestants are there and they're being contestants and going through all the hardship and you are the host and you're privy to everything, it must feel very different to the Celebrity Apprentice experience.
The Celebrity Apprentice would have given me the window into the basic format of reality television, of absorbing that. How does that work? Because when I'd been on other sets in the past, I was only a guest at that point, I'm sure. Good News Week, you know, we come on, you do your bit. I'd hosted a few things back in the 90s, like little clip shows and of course very different to working on something like Full Frontal, which is, you know, full-on weeks, very, very, very long hours. So when I look at those contestants in the jungle and I think about my time on The Apprentice, I'm just like, my time was not physically stressful. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were tired, but that's the gig, right?
Yeah.
You're tired, so you leak. And so I also think where that celebrity is standing opposite me is one step away from where I am. Because when this job falls over, I will have to sell the house and get, you know how you, like in our business, you have to make immediate changes if a big one falls over, which it inevitably will. That's how the television rolls.
And you've already turned down potential other things.
Absolutely. It's, you know, it is not a business for the faint-hearted at all. And I can never believe the hustle's not over. And I kind of like it, but you're also just like, I think probably just scared of, you know, being okay and that needing to prepare for older age, whereas really this, apart from eating better and doing all the grown-up stuff, there's not a lot you can do to Do you know what I mean?
The hardest thing is staying relevant.
Which honestly will then tear away at you to the point where you're not the person that you are delivering normally, because all of a sudden you're definitely on the back foot. Like it is with the internet stuff. I'm like, God, these aren't even very good cuts when I'm cutting stuff. I'm like, this looks very amateurish.
Well, how does that make you feel? Like, you know, Robert has 10 million plus followers.
Amazing. I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Yes.
I mean, let's talk about Robert.
Yeah, let's talk about Robert.
Oh my God, John. So I've met Robert a number of times over the years with kind of when we would have been together in shows or, hello, how you going? Oh my God. And, you know, I noticed his photography and I think the family are amazing, but I didn't know, I don't know, I was going to say I didn't know much about them. Of course I knew much about them. I know what everybody else, you know, knows. Yeah. Once we started working alongside, I was like, it was in the audition. We'd seen a number of fantastic male presenters. A female came through. We had let's see how we go.
This is replacing the Doctor.
When Dr. Chris headed on over to 7, you had this opportunity to almost reinvent the show, but nobody wants a reinvention. We were in this, you know, you just got to see people stand side by side, don't you? Well, we want to see what the combination is like, and does this become just about these two people?
And is there chemistry?
And we had built that, you know, all production and Doctor and I all together, and Peter Lawler, our dear mutual friend and director.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, how do you start again? And the second Robert walked through the door, and there was definitely other incredible, viable, ready to go, excited, that would be amazing. And then Robert walked through the door and we got on set, and there was something in his, you know, sort of planted his feet, and he was somebody who felt like he knows himself. And he doesn't need to share it.
He's very self-assured, but in a good way.
Oh, very well read. Super interesting. Has also, you know, has had the sort of life where he's been around the world multiple times a year. And that is going to make you much older in your years because of how much you absorb of society and life and, you know, royalty or the president, or, you know, and the work that they are doing is absolutely vital. So they are very welcomed and very beloved everywhere they go. And every time I see them on the media, they're trying to pick out one word that someone said where they did a headstand. You're like, what? Oh my God. Thank God we've got such strong gun laws in this country. I get spookily protective, which they do not need my protection.
And, well, how does Robert feel about that?
Robert just takes things in his stride. He gets it. He's also like the TikTok generation where he's done, you know, they have so many windows into things that I don't know. My children are the same, where they'll start singing a remote song from The Big Chill or something. I'll be like, how do you even know that? Or he just feels incredibly, incredibly worldly. He's really funny. We have a very similar speed of thought. There's a real yummy warmth. We are excited to be around each other. All these lovely revelations that with each passing year have just got better and better. And then, you know, he just got up and did it. And there was a lot of, oh, well, you know, he's brand new and brand new? I'm like, mate, he's not brand new. I sort of like had to say to a couple of people, you've got to wrap your head around the fact that we've essentially got Matt Damon alongside to host this show with me. I think you've got to globally wrap your head around that, because if it's your personal interest in what's happening at Australia Zoo, then no wonder you think that he hasn't had much experience. You're like, what? Where have you been? Like, this is a person who, I've definitely quoted him as this before, he feels like a person who will know how to safely get a crocodile to be still while they can mark it and put trackers to work out what this exact crocodile is going to be doing over the next 2 years, and therefore where it moves to, what it needs, what the mangroves are doing, what sort of, you know, what its life does, right? As well as what each Michelin star is for.
Yep.
I feel like he's that guy and so much more. I relish the chance to talk about him. I'm blown away by what an absolutely complete human being he is.
I am too from afar. I mean, I met him like with the doctor on the living room.
Yeah, nice.
But, you know,
well, also
was in the previous stage.
The other thing is, John, I reckon when you're coming in for appearances on television shows and whatever, you are getting certainly for me, the most high octane. Yeah, I know I've got to hit this mark, make sure I talk about the foundation, make sure I talk about that's all on your mind while they're asking you questions and you're like, how can I get this in while I'm also preparing my answer? So, yeah, he's years of experience. They also have an incredibly private life. And yeah, that's where the honey is. That's where the joy is.
I wonder how you live that private life with so many people focused on you.
Definitely. Do you know, I was a GO in Club Med back in the day, a guest organiser.
I was going to ask, what did you
it's called gentile organiser. I used to say genital organiser, but you're not allowed to say that out loud anymore anyway. So you used to work, I would walk through the village of the Club Med village and everybody already knew you. So it's kind of exactly the same. So I did spend a lot of years just going, we'd be in restaurants where the kids were little and people would come and pull up a chair to the table. And I would then be polite to them because I know that's not easy. Like then my ex, he would not be very happy with that. So then I'd be like, I know he's grumpy. I've got to end this conversation. I don't know how to get rid of this person because they're sitting in the...
Because you'll be vilified if you try and, yep.
Absolutely. What a bitch.
Well, you spoke about Husey before, and actually I remember a time down at the beach and we walked past each other and I said, hi. And he said, g'day, mate. And then about 10 metres later, he doubled back and said, hi, John, because I realised that you've got to have a stock response.
You're on a bit of a churn and burn.
I think they know.
Absolutely. Not only that, I get a buzz from it too. So going through the airport, depending on what day, it's not like everyone will know I'm going. If I'm by myself, you won't see me. Crouching tiger, hidden fun bag. But if I'm with a pal, then I'm like at the coffee shop. Yeah, you do. Oh, you know what a latte is like? Like, I turn into that person. So then, yeah. But there's also lots of quiet times because when you're out and about, you are kind of have to be that. You don't have to be actually, and it is a part of me. So, yeah, it's just that some of the other volumes get turned down.
Well, I'm looking at that with your internet stuff too. I mean, there is your very public persona. Do you have to be careful what words you use and what you do?
I mean, I'm an absolute avid swearer. I think that's part of it's part of the old stand-up days. It's part of a flex, I think. I think it's flex. I think it's a...
Well, this is a safe space.
I think it's a status flex is what I think it is. Mm-hmm. So if someone's really annoying me, they're being really grown up, but I'll just drop in a couple of gems, just to keep the space fresh.
And is that difficult when you work on a family show like I'm a Celeb?
I've never had that moment happen. I feel like I was existing as I guess my brand of humour was known before I came on to the show, then known by so many more people through the show. And oftentimes Wine in the Doctor or whatever jokes we were writing where I'd accidentally fall over him or like whatever those things were. And I am conscious of working on a children's show, but even though I'm a big swearer, I don't necessarily like hearing swearing on television. Double standard. I know it's so weird. I don't even want to say it out loud, but so far I have not experienced any dramas live to air. Mm-hmm. I think the brain definitely knows where it is.
Well,
then.
You did have that. I mean, not you, but foisted upon you the Eurovision interview. I think it was.
Oh my God, John! What about finding that footage? How bizarre was that? And do you know, I hadn't looked back at it in a long time, and that is the first time that this is the first time that I really saw it as an assault.
So tell the story.
So I went to, I'd been working for the BBC for a little while. I've been hosting a show called Liquid News, and Liquid News had a little side project where they go to a lot of entertainment things and set up the BBC tent, and then in the BBC tent we would host Well, we'd host little events from there. So we were hosting the BBC television show, but not the Eurovision big stage. So we were then getting every person, well, the big stars come off, they come into the BBC because they all wanted to then go and tour through Britain. So everyone was coming through. And there was one band and I loved their song because it's a 3-day run. You hear everyone's songs for 3 days, but theirs really stuck in my head and they were fun and they were like dressed like Kiss. So like a really cool, just amazing. Song was fun. Out they come. We're like, oh my God, we're getting that guy from that band. Amazing. And he walked out. And at that point, we're having a couple of technical difficulties. It was raining and we were in a tent. There was many tents from many different countries. But he was like, this mic's not working. Can you hear? And it was just it was that sort of live TV where you're like, did that even work? I've got no idea. Yeah, I don't even remember what we just said. How did that go? And everything had been pretty straightforward. And I do like to over-talk moments, which I have to also be careful of. And this guy, the lead singer, walked in and essentially just like sends a leg over my legs and kind of glides on in the clamp. And then I'm thinking, I think I'm going to get into trouble. And I'm like, so I think I better not look like, I better make it look like it's okay so no one gets angry with him.
Yep.
That old headspace. And then, but it's not like I felt like it was sexual. I felt like he was drunk and fucking, I'm like, oh God, we've got to harness this knuckle. But I did that late and live in Edinburgh for many years. So, drunk men being intense.
So when something like that happens?
My response, interestingly, I barely flinch in it. I just get on with the interview. And then he kind of rolls over and sits alongside me because producers are then saying, get him to sit beside you, because I think he was then muffling my mic, whatever.
Got it.
He sits beside me, puts a leg over my leg to kind of lock me into him, and then reaches over and grabs a little bit of a chuzzy. Just gets a little handful.
And
live we're on the BBC, and I'm still trying to make jokes about it. So I think I had said something like, Hooters on the BBC, or something like that.
So you are live, going through this, basically an assault.
Kind of, yeah.
What?
Not kind of, absolutely.
So.
But I wasn't like, oh my God, it wasn't that sort of thing. It was more like it was just instinctive. I think I just needed to let my brain do the work. And then the interview ended. But when I went to cut that footage just like about a month ago, I was like,
Julie's been putting all this footage online. It's awesome.
You know why? I was clearing out the garage and I found something ridiculous, like 130 VHS tapes from, there's lots that I still don't have. There's hardly any footage of In Melbourne Tonight online or anywhere I can find. Can't find it. Actually, it was also reasonably confronting because I was just like, oh, you poor over-actor. That's all I could see there. I'm like, you poor girl.
Right.
That was weird. And I was like, God, how did I keep a job? How annoying was it?
But that particular instance at Eurovision, you look back on it now and...
Now I'm horrified.
And see yourself...
If someone did that to my daughters, I mean, we are all in a very different headspace too. Back in the day, I think we were trained that if someone hit you on the bottom, it was a compliment and you were beautiful.
Yeah.
And I don't remember... I always took it as a compliment, but that's the gaslighting, right? Oh, I'm going to touch your body and you should feel like I've given you a compliment.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Do you feel the pendulum has swung too far the opposite direction?
Not yet. No. I think we're getting there. I think there's a lot of feeling of, oh God, can't say anything anymore. You can't say that.
Right.
Whatever that thing is that you want to say, that's mean to someone else. So that's the bit that I don't feel like not everyone is connecting to. So yes, you've done this family joke for years about the local restaurant up the road, whatever that is, right? So would you say it to their face? Right. So if you wouldn't say it to your face, stop saying it. Like, I think the political correctness is going to, because we always swing back to a little bit of naughty.
Yep.
It's how we're built. When I say naughty, I mean like trying to, push back on too much of the conservative system, I guess.
Yes.
So now if we've gone very politically correct, great. That's just the rule learning phase.
Right.
I think. It's the rule learning phase where you're like, okay, I don't want to be that person who's in a social conversation saying, it's they. They, how am I meant to, that's a plural. Like, yeah, it's also a 10-year-old joke. So
How do you feel about pronouns?
I think they're absolutely essential for people to let morons know who they are.
Right.
So if you're not a moron, you're like, beautiful, I get it. But for morons who are just like, that in that space, the exact space that I'm talking about, you're going to be in trouble if you want to keep some old thoughts on high volume. And you do have to change. There's bits of my stand-up that I look at that I still will stand by and say, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. What I am doing is I'm making the person from that country make fun of me. Yep. And in doing so, I am mimicking her accent. So now I understand that has a level of disrespect to do someone else's accent. It's like when people do Australian accents and we're just like, oh God, please don't do that. So, but I couldn't then get down into the crowd and go, guys, this is not racist because I'm not doing an accent to make fun of this woman. I am recreating an acting moment out of that moment when she said to me, you're too fat, get out of the shop. So joke's on me. And I think go and flexing, see how good I am at accents. And then I'm just like, you've got to let that go, Lady J. So there's, quite a few things along the way. You have to ebb and flow. I know for people in charge of schools and in charge of set, you kind of need things done quickly, but we are having to take a step back and just go, which is, I understand that can be taxing for the time that it will soak up and we don't have time in television.
It's just it's the time taken to re-educate.
But it's us that kind of needs that before that moment happened. When we did Australia's Got Talent, some of those audition days were 18 hours long in heels.
Yep.
18 hours. So, things have to change. And I think if everyone gets super grown up and learns all the grown up rules, then they can just relax a little bit back in because everybody has a sense of humour, but we lose our sense of humour when someone's purposely getting it wrong or refusing to grow.
Yeah.
Where it's like, a friend of mine gave me the most wonderful, this is a couple of years ago, about trying to keep they in the forefront of your mind. And he said, if you can feel like you are introducing a nighttime chat show where you don't want to reveal who the guest is, that's how you use they.
Got it.
They work up at, the such and such real estate agency. They always make sure that they do this, they do that, they do this. And instantly you're in the right headspace. It's like, oh yeah, nighttime chat show intro.
That's a very, very good example.
It's handy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made immediate cut-through sense to me. I liked it.
You spoke about AGT. You hosted with a very powerhouse team.
Oh my gosh, the team were amazing. I really wanted to be a judge and managed to slip into the host role because I was like, I want to sit in those seats next to Dawn French.
So your judges were?
Dawn French. We had Carl Sanderlands. We had Tim Amatic, Tim Amaji, and we had Jerry Horner.
Yes.
What a combo. What a combo. And I, from my work in the UK, had met Dawn a couple of times, and so I was able to sort of just reignite that friendship. Well, not friendship. It wasn't like I went to a couple of things where I was doing warm-ups.
Yes, you did warm-up on AbFab.
And on AbFab and on Lenny Henry's show when they were still married. So Dawn had come into the green room and I had met her there. So I'd met her a couple of times, but I was just like long time fan. And then Yeah, very quickly became a pal.
And a Spice Girl fan as well?
Oh, Jerry. Well, we always said Planet Jerry. Jerry's on Planet Jerry. I love Jerry.
What do you mean by that?
Planet Jerry. Planet Jerry had her own time frame, and yeah, she would like
Does
to.
that mean everyone else is on set and Planet Jerry is working to a different
Not really. It's not like she was keeping people waiting, but yes, you'd never know. Like they were like, is she going to be wearing the red or the black? We won't know till she steps on. You're like, we've just got 3 other people to dress. She just wants it to be a surprise.
And did you get to speak to the judges much outside of the show?
Do you know, I did. We hung out quite a bit because we travel right around the country. It was the Australia's Got Talent experience was fascinating in that I was reasonably new to that big format of hosting, and so I was very overmanaged. So in between each commercial break, and I was also, you know, like not faking it to make it. I'm like, I can do this job. I just haven't done much of it before, but I know I'm going to be okay at it.
I can do this job,
Yeah.
but I've got these very powerful people as judges as well.
Yeah, and also what does overlay mean? Like,
which you now know because you make it yourself.
I just understand overlay. Yes, through that, every single commercial break, someone will come back and go, "You're being too drag queeny. Turn it down. You're like all screechy." So I'll be like, okay, because I do pride myself on being able to take directions. So I'm not offended. I'm just like, cool, I'll do that. Just tell me what to do and I'll do that. Like I'm in that space. So I go that and be a bit more sensible out in the next one. And then they come back and go, it's dry. It's dry. Can you put a bit more oomph into it? And every commercial break, the opposite thing would be said.
So contradiction every time.
Yes. So I'm just like, I was like, maybe I'm not the right person.
So what do you do?
I did not have the guts to do what I do now, which is do what I do. So now, instead of getting frustrated, letting it all build, oh my God, I don't do that anymore. Now I just very quietly just go, no.
And when you do that, do you think you're perceived as a diva?
Yes, and I want to vomit.
Right.
So I definitely have to, think my words through. So, yeah, but even saying anything at all, I find incredibly draining. But also, before I was on my ADHD medication, oh my God, John, I'd be standing on set and I'd be ready and we're ready and we're ready. This is going to be hilarious. This is one of my favourite jokes. I can't wait to do it. And then I'd be like, someone's going to trip over that cord. What's a cable basher doing? Where the fuck is a cable basher? Oh, you'll be up pissing over you're doing a piss over the side of the, you know.
So your brain's gone over there.
Yeah, and I'll be like, someone's going to trip on that. Any minute someone's going to trip on it. Surely someone's going to say, so they haven't said anything? No one said anything. They're like 5, 4, 3, Coming up after the break, we've got to, and then someone would trip on it and then I'd be like,
I knew it. I tried to tell them.
oh my gosh. I mean, yeah. So having unregulated emotions is not great. I wish I had known that all along. I feel like I would have been an entirely different performer, and I feel like I would have had a more steady and more successful life.
Really?
If I had have had medication all along.
Right. It's made such a difference to you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I've gone from whirling dervish to elder statesman.
Amazing elder statesman who was just nominated for a Logie, the Logie for the 4th time. I
mean, the Logies, John. I love it.
And can I just say, before Julia tells us about the Logies, that she was there cleaning up afterwards.
I do a lot of help. I help. Ken is attest to that. He knows there's still cake in my bowl. I know I get it. There you go, Bob. The Logies it's an intense event. It is like doing a show.
Yep.
The weeks before of the dress try-ons and this and that and the things that go into it. I didn't do any of the maintenance that people do. I didn't put on a spray tan. I didn't even have time to do my nails. I'm raising 2 children. I'm doing Yeah.
And then you've got
So my other home
Strange
life is so
busy.
much more busy. And obviously my lifestyle choice partner, Ken, there's nothing more to give, and I can't keep feeding you other than this nightmare keeps going, love. Good boy. There you go, that's a good boy. But the Logies itself, you still have to campaign. So every year, again, calling back to what we were like as younger performers, you didn't sing your talents from the rooftops. We weren't encouraged to do it. In fact, you were actively discouraged. The network are hoping that you are the person who's going to represent this network. Now, whether you win or not, it's an amazing honour to be somebody that's, you know, one of those people that for years, John, years, I've wanted, why do they see me, why? And then now that I'm one of those people, I've slipped over to that. It's a lot of work, John. Which you had to ask me 5 years ago, I'd just be like, I would do anything. But then I've also changed a lot in that 4 years, dramatically changed.
yes, Kenny.
I've entirely changed to a different human being. And over that time, even though I am absolutely honoured, I'm not as hung up on it anymore.
Let me ask a terrible question then.
Yeah.
4 times not winning.
Yeah. Do you know what? Each time, I'm not a drinker. When I say I'm not a drinker, if I got through a second wine, they'll be chucking within the hour. I'm that drinker.
Right.
Literally through a second drink. So each of those 4 years, not only had I not prepared a speech, I mean, John, it's because every time I wrapped my head around it, I wanted it so much I couldn't write it down, sound daggy. I don't want to be prepared. Is that bad luck? It's like the gift of the stand-up is to be able to get up and bring it. And that's my thing. And that's what I'll do on the night. And I've watched loads of people do that. And every time it's a disaster. So halfway through the night, I'm then like, you know what? I'm just going to have a wine. So by the time that goes off and they say the person, the relief that I'm not about to lose my career, because what are the chances that I'm going to get up and go, everybody go fuck yourself? Yeah, so there is a certain blessing in, oh man, you were robbed.
Well, you know, you could say that you get a lot of the benefits.
It's only my ego that wants it. So in terms of what the benefits genuinely would be, I would just be on the list.
Yep.
And a lot of people on this aren't even spoken about year after year.
Yep.
And everybody feels the same anxiety, I think, in the Logies. Everybody feels the same. This is a horrible feeling, but the job is to look like you're enjoying it. I did a odd post, well, odd for me, well, probably not that odd, about 2 years ago after the Logies. And something really stuck in my side. It was the end of the red carpet. I've been on the red carpet for 2.5 hours because there's a real hierarchy sitch going on. So if the big stars from any network turn up, of which I've only floated up there kind of recently, then they take priority in any filming. If you're standing talking to someone
Even
about...
if you're a gold Logie nom?
probably not Gold Logie nom, but for many, many years I would have to step off while someone else stepped in.
Right.
Gold Logie nom, you have to hit every single journalist practically, everyone, in case you win.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you've got a hunch that you're not going to win, and I couldn't be more positive, I'm just like, sure, you're going to take it. And then as the days get closer, you do get a little bit more realistic where you're like, I'm not going to take this because it's just me and no campaigning. So then this year I changed tack. I'm like, all right, every year I just do a, hi guys, I'm not going to campaign. This is me unpacking my dishwasher or some sweets, you know, whatever, trying to be subtle and appeal to other women like me, the mummies who never stop working until they hit the bed at 11.
Yep.
So I thought surely they won't be so tired that they can't go in. The thing is, no one fucking cares. You know, like with certainly what's happened in the world the last 12 months, not even the last 12 months, the last 3 or 4 years, and television people who already look like we're on Clover coming out going, you know what, guys, the globe is burning, but I would love a vote in the Logies. People are like, go and fuck yourself, you idiot. You got a job.
So you have that perspective.
Yeah, and now I definitely think, being nominated for a Logie, I reckon you are probably going to get another 12 months' work.
That's what it does?
I think that's what it means.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, we've known nominees that their shows have then been axed.
Yes.
You know, when people, when we don't have anybody over and it's just the girls and I, sometimes we will pull a chair up for Ken.
And does
It's
he
the
behave?
bench. Well, listen to him now. It's not like he's gagging for the cake
He's looking at me like,
he's like,
he has to be somewhere.
No, he's essentially like he's more than a personal assistant, is what I'm saying. He's a lifestyle choice partner.
Well, I haven't even got to speak to you about Full Frontal.
We'll have to do part 2.
We'll have to do another time, as if I haven't taken enough of your time.
I did love my experience on Full Frontal. It was my first proper journey into, working when you're a comic, you work by yourself a lot. In Club Med, we were very collegiate, and I just assumed it was going to be like that. And I don't think I quite realised that each and every person has their own story, So, I don't know that reading the room was one of my special gifts at the time, but I loved doing the sketches. I wanted to be in more, but
Look at the cast.
The cast was incredible.
Sean McCullough, Eric Banner,
Amazing.
Flanagan, Dana Reed.
And same with Fast Forward. It's just like an absolute crew of superheroes, all led by Ted Emery.
Yes.
Who was just a master of note and like a real to the second shooter. You never shot a second over time with Ted, to the point where I would be thinking, have we got it?
He's my mentor.
Oh, he's amazing. I mean, don't even start me on Pia, his daughter. You think he's Kitty. Ken, you cannot be comfortable. Do you want to get down now? See, now the barking should stop because he's been uncomfortable.
Well, let me say thank you, Ken.
Yeah, Kitty.
Thank you so much.
John, I loved it.
All the trouble you've gone to.
Such a pleasure.
You're the best. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Plenty more fascinating chats to come. Like, subscribe. See you soon.